Hi guys, and welcome back to the Watch Lobby. In today's video, we'll be taking a closer look at one of the more recent Seiko Sumo releases, in the SPB103J. This piece was sent in to me by a viewer. Thank you for letting me spend the time with your Sumo. With current trends, green watches have absolutely taken off thanks to the Rolex Submariner Hulk. Riding that wave, Seiko released this Sumo with a stunning green dial back in 2019. Is this the affordable Hulk people have been searching for? As we all know, the Seiko Sumo line have been around for over 10 years now. Over that time, it has developed a large cult following for good reason. The Sumo is extremely well built, solid and robust, but don't take my word for it. Let's jump into more detail. Why not start with its measurements? Polarizing measurements have watch lovers split in the love it or hate it category. Measured horizontally, it comes in at 44.6 millimeters. Measured diagonally, to include the crown, it comes in at 48.5 millimeters. With a lug to lug of 51.5 millimeters. A lug width of 20 millimeters. A thickness measured at 12.8 millimeters. With a bracelet measured at the last link at 17.7 millimeters and a clasp of 19.5 millimeters. Now, some of these measurements are on the larger side, and on paper, they're not wrong. However, something I mentioned in a previous Seiko Sumo video, where I reviewed the first generation Sumo, which I'll link above, is the case design makes this piece wear completely different to what the measurements suggest. The case itself has an extreme taper from its widest extremity to where it meets the wearer's wrist. All this adding to its wearability. The case maintains the same lines that we're used to seeing on Sumos, along with a combination of brushed and polished surfaces. We still see drilled lug holes, which helps the owner with strap changes. Along the side profile of the case, we see a 4 o'clock screw down crown, protecting the Sumo for 200 meters of water resistance. Sitting atop of the case, we get a 120 click bezel with an aluminium bezel insert. Moving in, we get a sapphire crystal, which is a welcome change from Seiko's hardlets, adding that little bit of extra scratch resistance. From there, we get a chapter ring that matches the bezel and dial, which leads me into my favourite part of this watch, that sunburst green dial. Stock photos do not do this dial any favours. It is a really rich, deep green that is not overbearing. In the right light, you get the perfect amount of green popping through in a beautiful sunburst effect. In certain situations, it almost appears like you have a black dial. So if you're worried about the green being too loud in person, you can scrap that worry. As for the markers, we get applied markers the entire way around, filled with Seiko's Lumibright. And how can we forget that Sumo styled marker at 12 o'clock, and a date window at 3 o'clock. To finish off the dial, we get the printed Seiko logo at 12 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock, the Prospex logo and the words Automatic Divers 200 meter. To top it all off, we get a sword style handset, again filled with Seiko's Lumibright. While we're on it, let's take a quick look at the lume. Lighting up bright, and no surprise for Seiko. As most of you watching this video know, if you're looking at an ISO certified diver from Seiko, you know its lume game is going to be on point. Moving down from the case, we have the infamous bracelet. For years, some have been arguing about the size of the bracelet. On a watch of this size, having a 20mm lug width does throw out the proportions somewhat. Let me know your opinion on the bracelet sizing down below. As for the bracelet itself, don't be fooled. It is a single piece link design made to look like a 3-piece. Seiko has gone to the next step and have even made the underside of the links appear to be 3-piece. but I guarantee you, these are definitely a single piece bracelet link. The links are all held together by the loathed pin and collar system, which to be fair, once resized, does do its job perfectly. We get a slight taper on the bracelet from 20mm down to 17.7, then back up to 19.5 at the clasp. The clasp itself is what we all expect to see. The Ratley pressed clasp synonymous with Seiko. We do get a diver's extension which is tucked away nicely, which is there if you need it. Now, let's flip this one over and take a look. We see the Seiko wave right in the middle of the caseback, as we'd expect from a dive watch by Seiko. Lightly laser engraved around the caseback are the words Divers Watch 200 meter, Seiko, the Prospex logo, as well as the model reference and the serial number. Under the caseback we get Seiko's 6R35 movement, which is the latest revision to Seiko's 6R family, coming in with a beat rate of 21,600 beats per hour. It hacks and hand winds, and a welcome jump in power reserve up to 70 hours. It's claimed the accuracy is expected to be around -15 to +25 seconds a day. For my final thoughts on the current generation Sumo. Like I said at the start of the video, this is one polarizing piece by Seiko, but I'm firmly planted in the love it group. It's just a brilliant piece that packs a punch. Like always, one setback I pick out from any sub $1,000 Seiko is its bracelet and clasp. This is no different, but for a retail price right around $850, it's hard to beat. The case wears better than expected with those angles and lines. Would I buy the current Sumo? If I didn't already have a first generation Sumo, I would be all over this. There is a reason the Sumo line has continued for over a decade and will continue for years to come. If you're looking for that one watch collection without breaking the bank, this could well be it, especially in this colorway. Wear this to the office Monday to Friday, as the green is subtle enough to go under the radar. Then out on weekends and let it soak up the sun and really let its hair down. With the green colorway, it really does feel like you're getting two watches in one. The black in low, non-direct lighting situations, then that green when you have the brighter direct light. If you've ever considered a Seiko Sumo in the past but have never taken the jump, I highly recommend going for it. It's a piece that you need to experience on wrist to really understand its full potential as an all-rounder. And with that, we've come to the end of another review. If you like this video or any of my other videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. As always, I love hearing from all of you, so feel free to reach out down below in the comments or via email. Thanks for watching and stay safe.